Summer. Sarah is an elderly widow who lives alone in an apartment on Brighton Beach, Brooklyn. She spends a lot of time in front of the TV. She especially likes the advertising show dedicated to people's victories over their appetite, diet, giving up meat, sugar. Sarah herself consumes a lot of chocolate and other high-calorie food. Harry, her son, sometimes shows up at her house to take and sell the TV to a junk dealer, and use the money to buy drugs. Every time Sarah buys the TV back. When she received a call from the Mullen and Block TV studio and invited her to participate in one of her favorite shows, her life suddenly gained new meaning. Sarah is seized by the desire to perform on the TV show as spectacularly as possible. She dyes her hair and tries to put on her favorite red dress, but finds that she has become too full for it. Sarah tries to go on a diet, but unsuccessfully. Then she turns to a friend who recommends her a doctor. From the latter she gets a prescription for pills containing amphetamines. Harold, once visiting his mother, notices that these pills have a strong effect on her behavior, and asks Sarah to stop taking them. Sarah tells her son how lonely she was all the years after her husband's death. Losing weight and a chance to get on TV make her more important in the eyes of her friends. Shaken Harold, feeling ashamed, promises his mother to visit her more often and introduce her to his girlfriend Marion. On his way home Harold cries with pity for his mother and shame, but calms down after taking a dose. Meanwhile, Harold and Tyrone start making money as drug dealers. They buy a pure dose, dilute it twice and resell it at the same price. The friends are successful, they easily earn a lot of money. Harold and Marion start making plans. They dream of opening a fashionable store, because Marion feels a calling as a designer. For Tyrone, his financial success is an opportunity to live in peace and happiness, escaping from the cruelty of street life. Autumn. With the arrival of autumn, Sarah's dependence on pills intensifies, the doses constantly increase. She begins to have hallucinations, which she tells the doctor. He prescribes her a new prescription, recommending her to take doses according to it for a week. The hallucinations become more and more strong and aggressive, and Sarah gradually loses touch with reality. All this time she waits for a letter from the TV program she was invited to, but it does not come. Meanwhile, the friends also have problems. A mafia war breaks out in the city, and drugs disappear. Tyrone is arrested. Brody, his friend and main supplier of drugs, is killed. Harold and Marion spend the money they had been saving for a long time on bail for Tyrone, to get him out of jail. Over the next few months, getting a dose becomes more and more difficult. The couple only have to buy a dose every day, which is barely enough for their constantly growing dependence. The money runs out quickly, the desire for a new dose comes to the fore. Marion has sex with a person she dislikes, to get money for drugs, but Harold does not notice it anymore. Harold and Marion start to quarrel and blame each other. Their relationship gets worse and worse. Drugs are sold by one of the few dealers who still have high-quality product, only for Christmas, as a gift. At a meeting with one of these drug dealers, at a warehouse of a grocery store, Harold and Tyrone try to stand in line and buy drugs, but because of the aggressive behavior of the crowd, the deal falls through. Marion, meanwhile, in an attack of breakdown, destroys her drawings and household items. Harold returns without a dose and argues with Marion. In irritation, he leaves her the phone of Baby John, who offers a dose in exchange for sexual services. At this time Sarah takes the largest dose of pills in the entire course of treatment, and she begins to have terrible hallucinations. During the hallucinations, the studio of her favorite TV show moves into her apartment, and the audience, host and even herself, beautiful, loved by the public and famous, laugh at her and her lifestyle. A furious refrigerator attacks her. In horror from these visions, Sarah runs out of the apartment and heads to the studio to find out when she will be invited to the show. Winter. Depressed by the last failure, Harold and Tyrone try to break the vicious circle by going to Florida, where, in their opinion, drugs are much more accessible. On a break, Harold notices that the vein he injected drugs into is infected, but still injects into the rotting flesh. He feels even worse, and the infection spreads further. Tyrone takes his friend to the hospital. Seeing Harold, the doctor immediately realizes that he is a drug addict and reports the friends to the police. Both are arrested and sent to jail. Meanwhile, Marion, on Harold's advice, comes to the pimp, Baby John. After sex, Baby John tells Marion about the orgy he is arranging, for participating in which she can get an even bigger dose. At first Marion refuses, but the dose runs out, and she agrees. Sarah, after the dramatic incident at the TV studio, is sent to a psychiatric hospital. There she is tied up, given drugs, forcibly fed. Harold in prison uses his only call to contact Marion. He tells her that he will be coming soon, that she will be waiting for him. After Harold's inflammation turns into gangrene due to lack of proper treatment, his arm is amputated. Sarah's body after taking amphetamines develops immunity to drugs, which is why she receives electroshock therapy, which she signs consent for in a semi-conscious state. Tyrone remains in prison, where he suffers from breakdown and is abused by prison staff. Marion comes to Baby John's orgy and entertains guests by having sex with a woman to get a dose. The film ends with a final look at the fate of the main characters. Harold, coming to himself in the hospital, calls Marion. The nurse offers to send for her, but he tells her that Marion will not come. Sarah, turned into an exhausted, lifeless shell, is in a clinic for the mentally ill. Tyrone, suffering from pain, experiences his first night in prison and remembers his long-lost mother. Marion after the orgy lies at home on the couch, clutching a bag of drugs in her hand, amid her own sketches torn by her. All the characters lie in the same position of a human embryo. The last shots show Sarah and the crazy images generated by her brain after prolonged use of amphetamine. She sees herself as elegant and beautiful on the long-awaited show. Sarah won the grand prize. Her son Harold, a successful young man who is about to get married. Mother and son hug and say they love each other, under the approving screams of the crowd and the flickering lights of the stage. The happy scene is symbolically crossed out by rays of light. Did you enjoy the movie? If you did, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more movie summaries. We will do our best to bring you a new summary every day, so stay tuned and don't miss out. Thank you for watching and see you next time.